What they be saying? Come on in the room. Come on in the
The
room.
room.
It's time to get started.
Come get this soul filled on this
Get
good
your
Sunday.
soul filled on this soul filled Sunday. Yes. No, you're fine. You know. How you doing?
Cool. I'm doing good. How you
I'm
doing?
I'm oh, I'm doing good.
Okay.
All right now, don't start
But
nothing you can't finish.
anyway,
How's your week?
my week was good actually.
Good, good.
Very good and you.
It was wonderful. Got some more books out and got some more on the way, of course. So,
Of course, of course.
yeah, I'm excited. Week has been great. Week has been wonderful, wonderfield,
Wonderfield.
wonderfield.
All right
Had a
now.
wonderfield week. Today is transparency, right?
Right. So you have to, when you talk about transparency, throw a little definition out there.
Yeah. And I kind of came up with the tagline, like, do you believe in yourself? Or can you believe in yourself, right? And generally speaking, do you believe what you say?
Hey,
Because at the end of the day, if you can't believe it, no one else will. And if you don't have a certain transparency with yourself, then you're really not going to be able to be transparent with others, right?
right.
So, honesty versus transparency. That's a heavy one. I want to kind of roll into it slow and steady,
Okay.
and then what Tina Turner say, and then we're gonna turn it up
You know, turn it up a little bit.
at the end portion,
Like this right
like this right here, like that, like
here.
so. But yeah, honesty is confession, right?
hmm
Um, someone asks you something and then you tell them, oh, well, X, Y, and Z, well, yeah, I do this. Because a lot of times a person is asking you something, giving us feedback already. No, I'm
Sorry.
playing. A person is asking you something because they've come across something, or, even in being uh, in the 21 questions phase, right?
hmm
So, with that being said, transparency is upfront. This is who I am. This is what I do.
hmm
And it's not always something that's said because it's something that's seen, right?
Right.
Um, and because people really, generally speaking, people don't really understand what it means to be transparent.
Okay.
So, um, I wanted to kind of touch on that as far as being upfront with yourself, because it all comes back to the self. You know what I mean? And that
Facts.
is, in order to be transparent, you would have had to do your light work as well as your shadow work
hmm
and constantly be doing this. Um, being honest with yourself, quote unquote, is the first step in, you know what I mean? Then crossing over to saying, okay, I see these things about myself. Now let me be transparent with myself and begin to align with where it is that I'm supposed to be, or what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. But there's honesty is a need to confess.
hmm
Honesty is a need to portray it's a characteristic, right?
Okay.
Whereas I think transparency can be not only a characteristic, but it's an action word. It's more verb than it
Right.
is
The now.
noun, in the noun aspect. So it's no need to confess what's already disclosed. And being honest is really just confessing. in a sense, right?
Mhm.
So I have definitely played the part of being honest but not being transparent. And what that means is, okay, let's say for example, me and you're out somewhere
Mhm.
and we run into somebody that I might have had some Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky type
Relations.
relations.
Uh huh.
Right. So then because that person, doesn't really quote unquote mean anything to me or I don't mean anything to them, and it comes up, oh, well, I've messed around with her before, and you're like, well, damn, why you didn't?
Right. Why you
Well,
tell me
yeah, I
about?
did, but I
You tell me
didn't.
about everybody else, but not this one.
Right. So it comes across as being dishonest. Even though
Mhm.
you may have forgotten about this person, it might have not even been that pressing, but it had to come back around that, well, this took place, or, oh, yeah, well, that was so long ago. So it now places a person in a position to not trust you, right?
Right.
So that is being honest, right?
Right.
Transparency is at that moment that you see that person, they greet, you know what I mean? You move on. Girl, let me tell you, about 5 years ago, X, Y, and Z went down, and you know what I'm saying? It obviously didn't pan out because I'm here.
Right.
Because it doesn't need to come back around to even it doesn't matter if you're dating that person or it's a person that you're getting to know. You don't want a circumstance to come back around where it's like, well, damn, you didn't even tell me about this,
Right.
and it's never been an issue of you being honest about these things and
Mhm.
other aspects. So is being mindful. Honesty, they say honesty is the best policy, but transparency promotes clarity. You don't have to worry about, is a person being honest with me, because they're constantly communicating with you and you're going to know if a person is talking bullshit. Like let's not make it seem like generally we don't have an idea ourselves of when a person is blowing smoke, or
Right.
you know what I'm saying, trying to just captivate you or whatever, and that's cool. But when it comes down to having realistic conversations, when it comes down to having to um, say things that aren't easy to say, are you being transparent in those conversations? And that's communication. We have conversations all the time. Some of our conversations are fun, some of them are intellectual, you know what I mean? And some of them are me saying, hey,
Right.
what you doing? And then some may be from you like, hey, I didn't care for X, Y, and Z. Because first you need to be honest with yourself,
Mhm.
and then be transparent with yourself of, could I say what I said better?
Okay.
Or was there an opportunity for me to not come off as an asshole or not come across as being blunt? And that's another thing I kind of want to touch on is blunt aggression. People say, oh, well, I'm transparent because I'm blunt. No, being blunt is really um, distasteful.
Mhm.
Because most people that claim to be blunt say things very distastefully and in a negative connotation rather than saying it in a building type mannerism. And it's like, oh, that's sugarcoating. No, it's not sugarcoating. It's finding the best way to explain to a person without them feeling on the defense,
Right.
without them feeling like you're attacking them or they're doing something wrong, or you know what I mean. So if you're not being aware of that, then you're not having transparent conversations. You're literally just having conversations, and then you wonder in any form of relationship why you keep having the same conversation
Over and over
over
again.
and over and over, because the conversation is not transparent to begin with. And so with that, it's like secret thoughts and feelings brew deception. If I'm not telling you, when you did this, I didn't really care for that.
Mhm.
Because I've now formed this distaste. Like, let's be honest, right? Is you did something, I didn't care for it, and now I need to determine, I need to filter through that truthfully with
Right.
myself. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that I'm looking at it clearly, and then come to you and say, okay, listen, I want to have this conversation. Now you might not even be wise to it and say, well, what?
Right.
Oh, okay. So in that perception, you can automatically come on the defensive end, or you can be on the receiving end. Like, let me go ahead and digest and see what it is that my partner is trying to tell me.
Mhm.
And I think that's where communication has to be. You have to truly be able to communicate with a person and be able to tell them anything. I need to be able to tell you your breath stinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be able to do that. I need to be able to say, you got a little boogie in your eye, or whatever. And those are small things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those are small things. If you don't, and I'm, and very superficially, but if I got on something and it really doesn't look right, no matter how well I may wear my clothes, it's like,
No.
try something else. And so I appreciate that, because now I'm like, you know what? This person cares about what I look like. And not only do you care about what I look like, when it comes down to it, you're being transparent. Not saying, well, girl, if you want to wear it, you wear it, because that's honesty. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's an example of being honest. It's saying, oh, well, you know, you got it, flaunt it.
Mhm.
That's an honest statement. If you like it, I love it. And that's not really a true honest statement, but it's saying, hey, if you like it, I love it for you.
Mhm.
But transparency, and promoting clarity, what the person is saying, you know what, that doesn't quite look right on you. And it's not to say that you're not a beautiful person, but this is not
Definitive of who you are.
definitive of who you are. And you can find a way to tell that person, not this outfit. Because are you really their friend? And we've seen it several times. I've heard people say it, those are not her friends. Because look at how she looks and look at how they look. And you're building false confidence in a
Right.
person
Right.
with honesty, right?
Right.
So transparency is not going to build a false wall of confidence. Oh, I respect that she'll wear whatever she wants, or she'll do it how she wants to, but you're not telling that person also how it's hurting them in the long run. How people are
Right.
really talking about you. You know what I'm saying, behind your back, but oh, that's my friend, and anybody that got something
Right.
to say, but would you do it, right? If you
Right.
wouldn't do it, why would you promote that behavior to somebody else? So again, do you believe it? That's transparency. That's
Right.
that's like true transparency. If wherever I am, how can I say that I'm building a brand and I'm building a business, and you see no signs of this, you see no product, you don't see me promoting, you don't see me doing anything, but I'm constantly talking about this business, right?
Mhm.
So eventually you're gonna look and be like, this motherfucker ain't about no business.
Right.
Martin character Tommy. Nobody ever saw Tommy go to work, but Tommy had money. You know what I'm saying? So
Big
the
facts.
lack of transparency is, we don't know where Tommy works at, but we know Tommy does something. He work at the blue building on the
Right.
corner next to the Boys and
Downtown.
Girls
Right.
Club. You know what I'm saying? So wherever they are, it was Detroit somewhere. So wherever the blue building is next to the Boys and Girls Club, that's where
Mhm.
Tommy works. So stop asking. But at the end of the day, again, it comes back to self awareness. It comes back to not looking into a mirror, but looking into the looking glass, because glass is transparent.
Now that you said that conversation we was having earlier
Hmm.
is in order for you to be transparent, you have to be able to really see your reflection.
Right.
Because when you look in it's a two way mirror, right? We're gonna use
Mm-hmm.
a two-way mirror.
Okay.
You looking in the first portion of the mirror
Mm-hmm.
on this side,
Mm-hmm.
and in that portion you see your reflection.
Right.
It's the you and your reflection.
Right.
But when you go on the other side, that is the where you can see straight through.
Mm-hmm.
This you
Mm.
is looking at the you that's looking in the mirror.
Break that down one more time because I want to make sure
Okay.
that's truly understood is the two-way mirror concept. The true self, the reality of self,
Hmm.
and the illusion of self.
Right.
Right?
Okay. So the true self
Mm-hmm.
is on the two-way side.
Facts.
The reality self is you facing the mirror.
Big facts.
The perception of self is the reflection
Mm.
in the mirror.
Mm.
Okay, so you seeing your reflection, you're seeing what you think you are,
Right.
because that's what you see in this mirror,
Right.
what you think you are.
Right.
The you that's on the two-way side, they don't have a mirror. They can see through the
Mm.
mirror
Mm.
to the you
Mm.
of right now.
Big facts.
You, who you really are, don't need the reflection,
Exactly.
because they can use the reflection to see who you're trying to be,
Mm-hmm.
and who you're trying to be should be me, the you that's looking from the two-way side.
We might as well end the show on that one. I mean, like, how else do Michael Jackson put out a song called Man in the Mirror.
Hmm.
I'm talking to the man in the mirror, meaning I am talking to my reflection, right?
Right.
I'm talking to the portion that presents itself as honest.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm talking to the person that presents themselves as being this star, of being this lovable individual, whatever characteristics that you pick up that you say that you are. Oh, I'm a leader, I'm charismatic,
Hmm.
I'm this, I'm this. Those are, again, the things that we take on, but as you said, on that other side, the true self is showing people, and everybody has a different perception of you. Like, no two people hold the same idea of who you are.
Right. Right.
So already that causes for you to have a need to be transparent even more. And why I say that is because your mother is going to see you one type of way, whereas your child is going to see you a different way.
Hmm.
And pause right here because where we at? Yep, we almost halfway through the show. And I got to give a shout out, right? So pause for the cause and pay some bills. Big, big, big ups. Make sure that you shop Black Ego. Ladies, they have your fall wears available, and it does sell out quick. I'm just all over the place. Um, shopblackego.com. The link is in the chat. They have awesome clothes. It is a LA based company, and they if you got it, they if you want it, they got it. Be authentically you. They have some great. Every time Shane tries to go and shop with them, they're always sold out of what she wants. So obviously, it's worth a look. And that is pinned in the comments. Also on Tuesdays, you have On Blast Radio with the show and Lacey Doll. You guys make sure you check out Truth Tuesdays, or I'm sorry, show if I got the title wrong, man, but y'all make sure y'all check that out as well. Also, if you are looking to get your body right and tight, please check out Javanda'sKitchen.com. She has 100% organic juice and detox. So make sure you mosey on over. That website it'll be in the chat soon. Again, it's 100% no preservatives, no additives. So if you need something for a good detox, I've done it more than once. I've posted my results. I'll post them again, but it's well worth it. Make sure that you check that out. And since I know that we have some great intellects and minds in the building, I want you guys to make sure that you support Black authors and support LGBTQ Black authors. First up is Unique Waterfall. It is a 3-book series, two sides to the rainbow. She's a dope author, and book 4 should be coming soon. So hurry up and catch up. It is available on Amazon, or you can find her on Facebook. Unique Waterfall. It is a story of grand individuals that go through um, really realisms in life and relationships, and finding not only fault with other but faults with themselves, and coming to a lot of epiphanies. It's a coming out story. It's a I've been this way story. So I don't want to give it away. I always try not to really read the back of the book or anything. So please go check it out on Amazon, because I'll go into the characters and everything.
Facts.
Also, make sure that you grab your copy of Method to My Madness Part 1. It is Part 1 in a 5-book series, available on Amazon, and it'll be available on Barnes and Nobles this coming week. I need the cheer sound. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
some sound effects soon. Like, don't even worry about it. Um, but Method to My Madness, I am actually the author of that book. It is a story that follows 5 different characters through their trials and tribulations, their betrayal, their lust. Lights on or off, you will lust reading this book. So make sure that you go and, again, shop Black Ego. Check out Unique Waterfall if you are in a read mood. And if you buy the book, Method to My Madness, you get my free ebook in a Right Mood series. Hey, um, and Jessica Steffens actually does custom kicks, but Queen Customs. Hey, I gotta shout out the family when they come on or whatever. So back to the topic. Honesty versus transparency. You gotta pay the bills. Okay, you gotta pay the bills before you actually get into the meat, because
Into the
people be
meat
watching
and
when you get into
potatoes
meat and
and stuff.
potatoes, and then you stop and you start promoting, and they be like, but we gotta pay the bills, okay? So with that being said, make sure you check out those companies. They are pinned in the comment section. Yes, thank you for picking up your copy, Jessica. You're gonna enjoy that. You're gonna enjoy that. And in between time, like I said, make sure you grab Unique Waterfall series, Two Sides to the Rainbow. Also follows some unique characters and individuals. They're all successful. I love any black writer that always makes their character successful. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. So back to the topic at hand.
Hmm.
Dr. Shane. No, not yet.
Not yet.
I'm not yet,
Not
but
yet.
it's coming. I bet you. I'm pushing her. She's going back to school. Watch. But no. So communicating on hard topics. You have to be able to communicate on hard topics with not just your partner, but with yourself. Like, that's the biggest part, is you have to be able to have hard conversations with yourself and be transparent. You know what I mean? I'm not a multimillionaire. Okay, Genesis, you're not. You're
Not
not a
yet.
multimillionaire just yet. So, and this is why I say that, is because you have the old saying, you have champagne taste with short dog money.
Hmm.
So you gotta be mindful not to always have this champagne taste with short dog money, but get your money up,
Right.
reinvest in yourself, invest in the things that you can be truthful with yourself about, that you're actually interested in.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if you're not interested in lashes like that, don't start a lash business. If you're not interested in makeup like that, don't start becoming an MUA, because you won't fulfill your own prophecy, right? But when you invest in what you know and you go for what you know, you're now being transparent with yourself.
Hmm.
And because it's like, I don't know how to sew. I don't know how to blend. I cannot well, a little bit. But I'm not a I can't do it. I'm not a hairstylist. I didn't go through the process. So I'm not going to set up a site and be like retwist, you know, come hit me up, and then I'm not a master of that craft. People have to understand that honesty is a hustle. Transparency is longevity.
Mhm.
So if I'm meeting you and I'm speaking with you and I'm saying, this is who I am, right? This is the type of individual that I see myself becoming. Is that something that you think that you could get with? And if that person, you're going to know if that person is being honest or if they're being transparent, because they're going to say, well, this is who I
Mhm.
am. This is where I see myself going
Right.
and what I see myself becoming. And I can see, how we can fit into each other. I see how we can make some things work out. But again, we got to make sure that we're being realistic with each other.
Mhm.
So that is also a part of transparency, being realistic. I'm not ready to be in a relationship. That's being realistic. That's being
Right.
transparent. I want to date. I want to get to know people, but I'm not quite ready to be in a relationship.
Wow. Okay, so this is why it's so important that you have to be honest with yourself,
Hmm.
because a lot of
Transparent
people
or honest?
honest,
Honest.
honest
Okay.
first,
Honest first, right?
and then transparent,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people will
They
go out there
mindful.
and say,
Yes.
um, I'm not ready for a relationship.
Right.
I'm not ready to share my space
My
with
bad.
someone else. It's
When you live, you see things that you ain't supposed
fine.
to see, but I don't care.
And it's like, when you tell people these things,
Hmm.
they're believing that you're being honest.
Right.
So let's just say I've told you I'm not really looking for a relationship right now, whoop, whoop, whoop. But 3 weeks into us dating,
Hmm.
I'm starting to give you relationship vibes.
Right.
And then when you back up, I'm like, I don't even, it wasn't that serious. I
Hmm.
told her I wasn't ready for it, because that's something you can fall back on.
Right.
But in all essence, you've lied to yourself.
Facts.
Instead of saying, well, look, I'm not looking for a relationship because this is what I'm looking for.
Hmm.
You can't just leave, telling half truths. You can't just leave the rest of it out.
Right.
Because then if this person has all the qualities, now you starting to show the googly eyes and shit, and they looking at you like, whoa, I got with you because I thought you said you weren't ready for a relationship. I'm not.
Hmm.
And now you mad because they telling you they're not ready for a relationship, but didn't you kind of tell them that in the beginning? So wasn't that going to be their expectation
Facts.
anyway?
Facts.
So how are you mad now? And that just goes to show that most times people can't take being honest or transparent
Hmm.
with self,
Right.
because you have to be able to deal with you. If you can't
Mm.
deal with you, who else is supposed to deal with you?
Mm. And that is um, very poignant. I would definitely say that is something very transparent to say. Are you able to deal with yourself? Because a lot of people aren't able to deal with themselves, and the reason why they're not able to deal with themselves is because they can't be by themselves. I don't really trust people that can't be by themselves for too long. Like always got to be around, always got to be moving.
Mm-hmm.
At this person, I'm at this person's house. I'm at this person's house. I'm doing this. I'm
Always
doing
somewhere.
like you're always somewhere doing something. Now, if it's a part of your craft or it's a part of whatever, then that's understandable. But if it's not bringing something in as a benefit to you, but to be seen, that's mirror mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
And,
gotta
and let
be
me tell you
seen.
why that's so poignant. It's because because like you said, a person who can't be by themselves, be it you got to be in a relationship, you got to be around some friends.
Mhm.
When you're single, oh my God, the world has come to an end.
Mhm.
It's because you keep jumping from situation to situation to situation. You're not clearing out none of the bags.
Mm.
You're just piling up all these bags in the closet, making you expanding your closet is what
Right.
you're doing.
Right.
You're not clearing anything out.
Right.
Now, after the fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th expansion,
Mhm.
you can walk around your closet like a damn mansion.
Mhm.
And now you've come to the realization I'm doing the same thing. I keep meeting the same kind of people because you're consistently running from yourself.
Mm. Oh. In my Rick
Right.
Ross voice.
So you're not taking any of that time
Mhm.
to clear away the baggage,
Mhm.
throw away what you don't need no more,
Right.
work on self because you have to work on self in between
Mhm.
any relationship, whether
Mhm.
it's intimate. Because if you break up with a friend, that shit hurts,
Right.
especially if they was a close friend.
Right.
That hurts. You have to deal with that.
Mhm.
You have to deal with whatever issues you took from this situation. You got
Mhm.
to deal with that so you can go into the next situation with a clean slate.
Mm.
You're not going to be able to do that if you cannot be by yourself. If you can't deal with yourself, that's why nobody else can deal with you.
Ooh. Say it again for the people that walked away from their phone.
Okay. If you cannot deal with yourself,
Mm. How in the
that's
hell
why
somebody else gonna deal with you?
they can't deal with you. Why? Because when they tell you, because dealing with somebody, let's be honest, dealing with somebody means that y'all have a certain level of respect where you can go and say, look, I don't like this about you.
Right.
And it not be offensive or anything. It's just because every time you do this, I've noticed that it makes me feel some type of way,
Mhm.
and that type of way is negative.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying to change that.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is maybe I can get some insight as to why you do it before I write you off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But people are so closed off
Mhm.
from being real with themselves, they can't be real with nobody else. So can't nobody be real with you. Because if you can't be real with yourself, you can't sit in your four corners by yourself. Who gonna want to share that energy with you?
Another toxic person.
Right, but y'all
Um.
just gonna be two toxic people in a chaotic place.
Right. And when that
It gets old,
it gets old,
and that time runs out.
and that's when you go to episode 8, which is the might as well complex.
Hmm.
Because when you lack transparency, when you're not first being upfront
Hmm.
in any regard, it's all, I'm not telling nobody my business is my business. But when your business takes away somebody else's choice,
Right.
it's no longer your business. It's motherfucking community property. Okay? When you put yourself out into the community, you are community property. When
Right.
you've put yourself out to be in a dating mode, or you're seeking new friendships or new acquaintanceships or new networking, you are now showing or projecting what is available to the community, what is available to the outside realms that you want to come and join your world,
Hmm.
right? So if you're not ensuring that, again, you believe in the product that you're putting out there, or you believe in yourself enough to sell it to yourself, you're in a losing position. I posted something earlier before we got on, and I was like, you make time for, you have exactly what you make time for.
Hmm.
That's what it said. You have exactly what you make time for. So if you have been saying, oh, I'm going to have this, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to start this up, I'm going to da 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 da, I'm going to get my marriage right, my this right, my that right. and you're not, and it's not because you didn't make time for it. So you have the bad friendships and the bad marriages and the job that you can't stand because you're not making time to improve those situations, right? So I'm honestly saying I want to be in a better position, but I'm lacking the transparency of how I'm going to get. I see it. You know what I'm saying? I see the reflection of me, but now
Mm-hmm.
I need to see through that. I need to step on the other side, and this other side has to show me, okay, this is the way that I need to go. This is how I need to begin moving. I can only speak about myself is, for somebody that has been writing for a long time and just now putting a book out, for me it's like, oh, this is so late. I could have been,
Right.
but because I wasn't being transparent with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was being honest with myself. I can write, but I wasn't being transparent with myself in the aspect of you're good enough. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
am being transparent, and that is saying sometimes people will look and be like, "Oh, her, she's so ambitious," and you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
She's just this, and man, that's the homie, and all of this, and it's like, dude, it took time
Right.
for me to even see myself in that aspect, and it's like, well, how did you do it, and what do you, and you saying a lot of lonely nights, like that's real, like being by myself, being with my own thoughts, sorting through my shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm sorting through my shit, I can say I went through the purging process of where it was certain things that I was disgusted with myself about. And I'm like, this is why this. And this is why this has turned out like this. And this is
Mm-hmm.
why X, Y, and Z is this way. And so now I'm like, okay, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Hey, hey.
It's gonna be a bright, so now I'm seeing my light
Mm-hmm.
because first I had to go through, and is, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadows, that's shadow work. I'm not gonna fear this. I'm gonna get through my own evils.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get through my own depressions, my oppressions, because that's self-inflicted.
Now, you know how you see scary movies
Mhm.
and you have the person that looks in the mirror, but their reflection looks away? And then all of a sudden they can see through the mirror
Mhm.
and see themselves on the other side,
Mhm.
all that darkness in between.
Mhm.
You got to think of it like that. That's what you got to work through.
Mm.
You got to work through that darkness, through
Mm.
you got to go through that
Mm.
mirror, through your reflection,
Facts.
because you see what you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
But this is what's blocking it.
Right.
That's why when you see those types movies, that's why where the ghost
Mhm.
is standing,
Mhm.
it's clear,
Mhm.
it's light, it's always white smoke,
Right.
right?
Right.
Where you are, it's always dark,
Mhm.
muggy,
Mhm.
and gloomy.
Right.
And it invokes fear. But do you notice that by the end of the movie, whatever scary movie it is, when they walk through that darkness and they deal with whatever that darkness is, they eventually get to the light?
They do.
Okay, now, that brings about part twos and threes and
Mhm.
fours, but
Mhm.
that's just life.
Right.
But if you look at it as a ghost story, they always have to deal with the darkness
Mhm.
before they can get to the light.
Exactly.
If you're not ready to deal with your own darkness,
Mm.
you can't go around stealing other people's light because that's all you're doing. That's all you're doing.
Say it again for the people in the
If you're
back.
not ready to deal with your own darkness,
Mm.
you cannot go around stealing other people's light.
That's another one that kind of just end the show. You know what I'm saying? You've been dropping them talking about I lead the way, but you've been doing some daggone showstoppers this evening. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just
That's all
saying,
I'm saying.
because for me, right? Um, I have lived a life, and once I changed my life around and I started, doing different because I wanted different results,
Mm-hmm.
I then realized, and I was about 30 years old, and at that time I decided, well, I'm gonna stop hiding stuff and be honest and be transparent with people. I don't want somebody 5 years down the line to, you know, if we're married, we've been married for 5 years, I ain't told you nothing about my past, and then when somebody walk up and be like, oh, Star, you know what I'm saying? Remember when you used to, and I'm looking like, hey, right. And then you like, okay, who the hell is Star? And remember when you used to what? Why I ain't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I decided that I was gonna start being honest with people, being transparent,
Mm.
because at the end of the day, if you full of shit,
Mm.
because I'm honest with myself
Mm.
and because I'm transparent with myself, I'll be able to see your bullshit a mile away.
A mile.
Because I'm like, no, you're not finna fill my life with that. That's bullshit. I can see it, I can hear it, I can feel it.
Well, and that's why I say it's the difference from doing the work and taking someone else's work, right? Because if you're doing the work, then hold on. See, you touching the props and shit.
Well, it has
Baby,
started.
we live. You can't be
Okay.
touching stuff. All right. No, if you're and I've said this time and time again. I've said it in the ciphers that I've done is that if you're doing your own work,
Mm-hmm.
right? And not somebody else's work, not saying, well, this is what you need to do.
Right.
That's doing someone else's work. Because now you done sat down and, okay, well, this is wrong with you and this is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And if you minus this and add this,
Mm-hmm.
you could be right here.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Again, you done someone else's work.
Right.
And so now that person, because again, you've not come in a transparent aspect, they're gonna look at you like, well, if you subtract and you add,
Mm-hmm.
then you could be here. And so that's not crown adjusting, that's gaslighting.
Right.
And so I think even people use that term, and we were having this conversation incorrectly because it's like, oh, they be gassing you up and da 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 da, and putting a battery. Those are two different things. A person putting a battery in your back or gassing you up is, like, oh man, yeah, man,
Right.
you know
Right.
what I'm saying? But a person gaslighting you is, ah, oh, you too sensitive.
Right. You should have known better
You
than
should
that.
you know how I am.
That's just me.
That's just me.
It ain't gonna change.
um I didn't mean it like you shouldn't have taken it like
Right.
that. You're crazy. Something is wrong with you. That
Facts.
is gaslighting,
Right.
right? It is not somebody saying, I'm not even gonna go through all of that. But at the end, there is a difference, and that's why I say when you're transparent, when you understand yourself and you've done your self work and you've gone through the fire and the flood
The
and
damnation,
the
the
damnation,
trials and
the
tribulations.
I, you gonna dance like David dance.
Right.
Because you've come to your triumph. And so the law of attraction doesn't work for people because they don't know where their vibration is. They don't know their own frequency. So, and actually it is because you're attracting exactly what you make time for. You're
Yes.
attracting exactly what you call your honesty. What?
It's an
Hey,
eyelash.
come on. They can't see that. So extra. I be like, Ron, pay some bills,
Listen.
man. Pay some bills. Pay
Listen.
some bills. Y'all,
Really?
yeah, pay
She
some
has
bills.
that.
Pay some bills.
Anyway, we are going to take a hot break
Hot break.
to pay some bills. You know what
Bills
I'm saying? So, first and foremost, if you're trying to get it all together
all the way.
for summer 2021 and shit,
Oh,
you like how I just did
not
that?
really, but go ahead. No, I'm just
Ooh.
playing.
Anyway, you need to hit up Javanda's Kitchen for that 100% organic
Organic
detox juice.
detox.
Listen, that juice is good. It tastes good. It's not abrasive when you go to the restroom. Yes, it's gonna make you go,
Go, go, go.
but no, it's not abrasive.
No,
It's
it's not.
very, very, oh,
Light and
it's
airy,
light
to
and
say the
airy,
least.
and it tastes amazing. She
Amazing.
makes it from
In
scratch.
the kitchen like this.
Everything,
I call it her
everything.
witch's brew, but
Right.
that's just me.
And she also does food meal prep,
Yes.
and she's an awesome, awesome chef. Y'all
Yes.
check her out. Ladies, if you are looking for some hot gear, check
Yes.
out Black Ego. What's the what is
Shop
shopblackeagle.com.
blackego.com.
Make sure you check them out pretty regularly because they're always selling out.
Always so no.
And my bag is just sitting there waiting because everything that I want is sold out. So yeah. But anyway, it's that should tell you how quickly
Yes.
things are going.
And also,
And
if
also,
you're having a party or not having a party,
we
you need to go to the hookah
uh,
hose, hose,
uh,
hose, hose. I
uh.
love doing that. I forgot it in the first one. Support the hookah hose. If you want to do a private event, if you want to buy your own hookah, it comes. Daggone it, I don't have my box. Comes with the full kit. You get the coals, you get the foil, you get the shisha,
Hookah, you
you
get the
get the
tips.
hookah, you get the tips. It's like an all-in-one kit for $45. Also,
Facts.
if you're in Atlanta and the surrounding areas and ready to have a cool little gathering, she also caters. So make sure you check out the hookah hose,
Hey,
hose,
hey,
hose. All
ah.
right. Yes, and not only that, you want to make sure that you check out On Blast Radio. They have some great shows. One is Uncensored. The other one is Truth Tuesdays with the Big Show and Lacey Dahl. And on, I think it's Fridays, is Uncensored with Mello. Sorry, show. I'm trying, man. I got a lot on my mind. Um, and because I know we have readers on this page, you have
Yeah.
a whole 3-book series by one of your favorite authors' favorite author, Unique Waterfall. Please make sure y'all go out and cop that on Amazon.
Dope, dope. Two sides to the
Two
rainbow, parts
sides.
one, two, and three.
Thrace.
They are dope reads.
Yes.
Make sure you get all of your
All
copies.
of them. All
Okay,
of them.
all of them
All
at
of
one
them.
time because you're not gonna want to wait
You don't.
for the other ones.
So go ahead and get them.
Mm-hmm.
Successful characters going through the plights of lesbian relationships, friendships, turmoil. There's Sherbert. There's car garages. I'm sorry. See, that's why I'm be talking about it because what I'm
Right.
trying to tell you is go and copy it, right? All 3 of them. And then in the meantime, in between time, grab a copy of Method to My Madness Part 1. And you can grab a copy of In a Right Move series for free if you cop the book. Now that we've paid some bills
And all of those links are in the comments as
in the
well.
comments. So
So
check
you
the
can go through
comments,
the comments
scroll.
and get all of that.
They should be pinned. Check out them folks. Y'all be talking about support, 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 support. Don't just hit a like. Go buy something. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm off my soapbox now. Okay.
You off your soapbox?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So no
Cool.
more Casanova.
I'm Casanova. Why
Hey.
you be sparking me? This is what I
Okay.
be talking about. This is putting a battery in somebody's back because it'd be like boom. But no. In all transparency, um, ensure that you got it, you got it. Oh, the author
She in
the
the
in the
building.
building. Y'all make sure y'all go cop them books and get them signed so she can sign them. And the
And
way
all
she
that.
sent them to you, boy,
They gonna be smelling good.
don't be, let
But
people
that
buy
ain't
them. But
everything.
hey,
Okay.
dang, y'all go buy the books. See, I got it. just be messing.
Even she posted to
The
my the sex
the
scene. See if
sherbert,
y'all want
the
to know what the
sherbert,
sex scene
the
is.
the
Get the
sherbert.
book. Get the book.
This lady writes a shower scene like nobody's business. Okay, moving on. Small folks, small folks. Now y'all cop those on Amazon or hit her up directly for real, for real. Again, so in light of everything and being transparent with yourself and making sure that you not only believe but you know.
Yes, because believing, that's hope.
Believing is hope, and believing is the honest part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So believing is seeing the reflection still.
Mm-hmm. Knowing,
Knowing is seeing,
seeing
and
the
it's
true you.
doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're always going to be showing your true transparency, no matter how much of a mask you may think you're wearing, no matter how much of a disguise you think that you're putting on. Those people that walk in their level of transparency and within their own high frequencies, right? Because we kind of want to collect, oh, if you don't burn sage, you don't vibrate. Like, that's not true. Like, I don't have to wear crystals to, anyways, it's
Mm.
your frequency, and um it's getting to your level. And I think that was probably like one of the dopest lines in Love Jones, one of my favorite movies, where it's not about writing on your level, but on her level, but yours. So it's about being on your level of perfection. What you see is that level of perfection. What you know yourself to be, and a true potential of transparency. Starting with honesty. Honesty is the confession,
Mm-hmm.
right? And again, when you are transparent, there's no need to confess, right? So, always walk in light, always be arriving to the next point,
Mm-hmm.
level up. I used to say, you know, keep grinding, keep moving, move forward. But moving forward doesn't deal with the issues. Leveling up though, because you gotta do some things to get to the next level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A bird just don't fly. You gotta learn to fly.
Facts.
So moving, you can constantly be moving and you can move on autopilot. But when you're leveling up, you're taking stock. You're making sure that you're putting yourself in the position that you need to be in, and you're seeing things for what they are. And that's the true aspect of transparency: seeing things for what they are,
Mm-hmm.
being available, and being in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Any closing remarks, dear?
I think you pretty much did a good
Good.
sum up.
Oh, good. So, I
Pretty
should,
good
yeah.
sum
What was
up.
Jerry Springer's little ending thing? I should call it something like that. Where it's like Springer thoughts,
It was last thoughts.
last thoughts.
Jerry's last
Yeah,
thoughts,
Jerry's
something
last
like
thoughts. So I
that.
think we should do something like that. Like,
Okay.
take the time to love those
Mhm.
that
That love
love
themselves.
themselves. And how in the hell can you say that you love someone when you don't love yourself? Anyways, wholeness and balance.
You on
Um,
radio, man.
I should be right. Wholeness and balance, peace and light. We will catch you again here next week at 6 p.m. on the dot.
On the
On the
dot.
D dot. We got some more stuff coming to you soon. We got
We have Tea Time Tuesday.
Tea Time Tuesdays.
I'm working on that name or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So, but it's gonna be tea time on Tuesday, every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
I'm gonna do some short videos. We might not start out that way because we do have a lot going on with the book promotion. Got a lot of stuff going on, but I'm gonna throw in some gems and nuggets of knowledge every Tuesday for you all. So please
So yeah,
tune in.
and ending paying some bills. As I say at the end of every show, mental health is very important. If you have not consulted someone, please do. If you don't know who to go to, check out Goddess Child Services. Get a consult, find out if you're right for each other, if you guys can come up with a plan so that you can now be preventive in losing what you got, right?
Right.
So, Mental Health Awareness Month is every month. You should always make sure that you are mentally prepared for the next state, especially with what's going on globally
Right now.
right now. Please, please talk to somebody. It's not always a suicide hotline, but you do have a service that's willing to offer free service. So please make sure that you get into that energy. And with nothing else, I'm Jen the Peacock.
And I am Shane the Queen.
Y'all have a great week.
We out.
I'll turn it